that a little bit because he's very well spoken, very well articulate. He's young. He's a first-term senator. I mean, there's definitely comparisons that can be made, and people like the guy when they hear him talk. So I get that, but the thing is, he's just, like you said, he's a very articulate, well-spoken guy. But as far as immigration stuff, nothing really changed in the debate, but I do think that Trump and Cruz did a lot to help win people over to understanding the other side's argument as far as why deporting them isn't racist. I mean, that's the main thing. Now, Bryson, let's move on. I just wanted to touch on a quick story, even though we spent a lot of time on that. We may not even have time for that. I'm just going to do it anyway.
Let's do this one.
Do this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing, guys. We just talked about Ted Cruz, and I found this story. I was looking at Star Wars stuff the other day, and the story came up in the news app on the iPhone, and it was a story, Cruz on Star Wars, Rebels good, Empire bad. And I was like, what? And I clicked on it. It's from the Weekly Standard by Michael Warren. I'm just going to read this to you. I don't think this is a satire piece. I do believe it's meant to be funny, but he wrote this a little serious. Texas Senator Ted Cruz said the Rebel Alliance and George Lucas's Star Wars films are unequivocally the good guys. The Republican presidential candidate told the Weekly Standard Tuesday evening the question over which side in the original three movies, the Rebels and the all-powerful Galactic Empire, was good and bad was not even close. And Han Solo remains the coolest movie character in the history of cinema, Cruz added. Cruz's stance goes against strong evidence that the Empire helped solve a crisis of security and order following the fall of the old Republic sometime long ago in a galaxy far, far away. The Tea Party favorite also diminished arguments that the Empire's destruction of Alderaan, as depicted in the 1977 film A New Hope, was justified given that the planet was the home of the terrorist insurgency known as the Rebel Alliance. Of course not, Cruz said to the question of whether the planet should have been destroyed by the Death Star. It was an act of oppressive totalitarianism. Cruz also likened the rebels, led by Princess Leia Organa, her brother Luke Skywalker, and Mon Mothma, to the patriots of the American Revolution. I am particularly fond of some rebels in 1776 who were a destabilizing, chaotic force, and they fought for human liberty against the oppressions of the crown, he said, and Darth Vader didn't even work for King George. Cruz said the argument from conservative pundits that the Empire was in fact in the right was deeply troubling.
I'll say something.
Go ahead.
You cannot justify the justification of blowing up Alderaan because
it's a fictional story.
The orders that were given down to the Empire were given out by either Darth Vader or Emperor Palpatine, who we all know were influenced by the ways of the dark side. Dark side uses hatred.
Those stormtroopers didn't have to press the button, Bryson.
But did they want to get choked? Did they want to get force choked into the air?
Look, they gotta have a conscience, a heart. They gotta say, "I'm not going to kill innocent people."
No, they kind of explained that in the recent prequel trilogy when they made all the stormtroopers clones, and that's how they can control them.
Yeah,
the stormtroopers worked for the Republic.
I didn't think stormtroopers were clones. The clone troopers were clones. The stormtroopers were people.
But with a simple Order 66, they became bad guys.
Yeah, but never mind. Let's move on.
They're all the same size.
No, they got rid. Let's not even get into this discussion. Anyways, here's the thing. I'm just going to touch on this real quick because we got enough time, I think. The House of Cards, this is another interesting news story. House of Cards author Lord Dobbs welcomes binge watch as word of the year. Now, Lord Dobbs, author of popular book and TV series House of Cards, said he welcomes binge watch as the Collins word of the year. His work has been attributed to starting the trend, which collinsdictionary.com defines as to watch a large number of television programs in succession, especially all the shows from one series. It may be the ugliest term you could contrive, but it's a wonderful phenomenon. It means that you, the viewer, are in charge. You decide what you're going to do when you want to do it, said Dobbs. Now, Bryson, with all that, we'll just make this a little brief as we can. What do you think about binge watching?
think binge watching is perfectly fine. I've done it several times for several different TV series. Just to name a few, The Office. I've binge watched The Office about. I'm working on my third time through the series.
What's the most amount of episodes you have watched in a day?
Of what show? The Office.
Any show.
Oh yeah. See, my high score for The Office is 12 in one day.
Whoa!
Hey, they're just 22 minutes long. You can watch 3 of them in an hour. Let's see. And,
Bryson, that's a little unhealthy,
I watched
pal.
6 episodes of 24 in one day. I watched probably like 5 episodes of Arrow in one day, and my highest for Daredevil is 3 because they're longer episodes.
Here's my opinion on binge watching. I don't like binge watching. I did binge watch like once or twice.
No,
I
binge watched the entire 24 series.
Will you let me say what I was trying to say? You little interrupting weasel.
No.
No, the thing is, with 24, I watched the most I watched. There was 6 episodes, and I watched that one time. There was 6 episodes left in the last season of 24, and I wanted to know what in the world was going to happen, and I just couldn't help myself because I've been watching the entire 8 seasons that summer of 2014, and I've been trying to get all the way through it, and I was so close to the end. I said I'm just going to go for it and worry about the consequences later. And I don't care that I did it now, but really, I don't think binge watching is healthy. You don't need to watch that many at once. You can watch 1 or 2 at a time. You got all kind of time to watch one episode. If it's just 20-minute or a 40-minute show, you can watch 1 a day. You can watch 2 a day. That's fine. But if it gets 4 or more on a day, I think that's a little. I don't know. That's a little lazy. I think we can all agree on that. But it is what it is. Bryson, let's get to some sports. Bryson, you want to kick us off with your like this week?
Sure thing. My like this week is Antonio Brown, arguably the best wide receiver in the National Football League, putting the entire city of Pittsburgh and maybe the entire state of Pennsylvania on his small 5'10" back and winning that game for the Pittsburgh Steelers and saving their season. That's why I say the entire state of Pennsylvania.
It was an unbelievable performance.
Can I talk? 200. It's not a lot. Can I talk?
I thought you were done talking.
No, I'm not done.
Will you calm down? I'm sorry. I was trying.
You started to yell and interrupt. Golly.
I was trying to compliment you.
Chill. Let me finish. Chill out. Were you trying to smack me in the middle of the show?
I was about to smack him, folks.
Golly, what the heck, man? Bubba. Brown caught 17 of 23 targets for 284 yards in Pittsburgh's 38-35 win against Oakland. That was a great game. Oakland has improved a lot. Derek Carr is breaking out as he's going to be a star. So he's already playing great with what's his name? Mark Cooper. Yep, Mark Cooper. He's been playing good. And hey, the old guy, man, he's getting it done at safety. What's his name?
Oh, what team we talking about?
The Raiders.
Oh, Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson.
Chuck Woody.
He is leading the NFL in interceptions this year. He's already got 7 or 8. So, pretty impressive. The old guy's getting it done. He's 42. Well, no, he's 40.
Are you done talking now?
Antonio Brown, he really put the Steelers on his back, and Roethlisberger's only going to be out for 2 weeks, and they've got the Browns, which is they can win that with Landry Jones because he's not that bad of a quarterback. Then they got a bye. Then they got Ben Roethlisberger back. Boom.
Yeah, that's great. And Bryson, just to make the record straight here, I was not trying to interrupt you necessarily. I was trying to make the point. I was going to say, "Wow, 200 yards. He really did something special." That's all I was trying to say.
Said.
Hey, I was just trying to echo your thought there. But let me continue let me continue to my sports like this week. My sports like is look. I know it happened Sunday and it's Wednesday now, but who cares? It was a big deal. The Panthers, the Carolina Panthers, improved their record to 8-0, I do believe, and beat the Packers 37. What was it? They were down. I forget. What it was 37-21 or
37-24.
37-24. That's right. They were down 8. That's right. But anyways, no, it was more than that.
It was 37-24.
Is that right?
I think so.
To be down 8.
No, it was 37-31 or 37-30.
37-29.
No.
That's 8. Yeah, 37-29.
It was 8.
Yeah, because they were down 8 and they had a chance to score. See, the thing is, the Packers came back. Yeah, that's right. It was 37-29. But I will say, the Packers, they started to come back. But the Panthers looked really good in that game. Cam Newton, they put 24 points up in the second quarter. I mean, that was phenomenal. That was really good. And he's really not making that many mistakes. Did have an interception in the fourth quarter. The Packers, chalked up 15, and they had a chance to put up 8. They get Aaron Rodgers, third down, looks like he's fixing to score. They stop him. It's 4th and goal, and he makes a horrible, horrible throw. Interception, game over. He had Randall Cobb wide open and didn't throw it to him. If you probably have seen the video of Aaron Rodgers seeing this on film on one of the tablets that the players use, and then throwing it on the ground when he realized he had Randall Cobb wide open. And so that's obviously got to be frustrating for them. But the Panthers have beaten good teams this year, and they just beat a good team in the Packers. I don't care, how bad everybody might have played or whatever. They got Aaron Rodgers. You beat them that good, 37 points, and they still down 8. I think that's a really big deal. The Panthers are good, and got to take them seriously. Bryson, what's your dislike?
My dislike is the Colts. They just had a big win against the undefeated Broncos. They played a great game. Defense was good. Andrew Luck played great, and then just 2 days after that awesome win, we find out that old Andrew Luck, our hero, Circle City hero, he's got a lacerated kidney and an abdominal tear, so he's going to be out to 2 to 6 weeks, but closer to 6 weeks. It's going to be at least a month. And he's not going to require surgery, but he's going to have to heal. And and Coach Pagano said, we're not going to let Andrew play until he's 100%. And I feel like that's probably a smart idea because
absolutely.
Matt Hasselbeck has played well.
He played good.
He's played very well, especially for a 40-year-old man. And the Colts, they've got most of their hard games behind them, really. They've already played the Patriots and the Broncos, and they are in a very weak division. Still got like 2 or 3 more division games to go. So don't quit on the Colts just yet, because I'm not. Well, I mean, I have to not be, but it's not as bad as you think.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing about Hasselbeck, real quick, he's probably in one of the best shapes of his life. Not having to be, there in the gridiron, getting pummeled every week. I'm sure that gets him. He's pretty healthy right now.
Yeah, and when the Colts played the Texans, he was very sick.
Yeah, he was. I tell you, now it's time for my dislike. I got to touch on this real quick because we're running out of time, but mine is the Attorney General in the New York State has declared DraftKings and FanDuel illegal gambling sites, not fantasy football. Now, they have advertised as fantasy football sites. They say that you pick your players, you put the money down, you play in certain leagues, you see how you score, and they give you money if you score good enough. Well, the New York government, or the state, is declaring them a illegal gambling site. Personally, I just don't think this is worth making a huge fuss about. Perfectly fine. Look, I don't think it's that big a deal. If the lottery, I feel like this is similar to the lottery, because the lottery, is it not gambling? Is the lottery not gambling? Why are all these states against gambling? And look, I'm not saying I'm for gambling, but if you're going to allow something like the lottery, and I know it goes to the government, but look at what the government spends that money on anyways. So, I mean, I don't understand why this is the end of the world. Yeah, and it's not like they're just picking on, who they think is going to win. They're picking players who they think are going to do well. It is a game of skill in a sense. And you're playing against other players.
Yeah,
so
this isn't a situation where it's just completely close your eyes, roll some dice.
Yeah, it says, I picked the Patriots to win Sunday by 30.
It takes, it actually takes skill, and it takes skill to do all this stuff. So
absolutely, without a doubt. Now, we're running out of time. We're going to close that real quick. Bryson, tell us this week's verse of the day.
Proverbs 10, verse 17. The one who follows instruction is on the path to life, but the one who rejects correction goes astray.
That's right. Now, I'll say the prayer real quick. Dear Lord, we love you. We thank you for all your many blessings. We thank you for loving us so much, sending your Son. Thank you for our audience. Thank you for all the listeners. Keep them safe. Help us have a good week this week, and help us to represent you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Bryson, what is this week's joke of the day?
Cigarettes, they're a lot like hamsters. Perfectly harmless until you put one in your mouth and set it on fire.